Hey everyone, it's Marie, and coming to you today. It's the first Monday in the new year in 2019, and I wanted to talk to you about baby steps. I know leading into the new year, all through December, we were talking about goal planning, getting ready for the new year, quarterly planning, setting those 13-week goals, 90-day plans, all of that strategery. And now that we're in it, right, it is now January. This is where the rubber hits the road. And you have to figure out how you can take these big, hairy, audacious goals, these big dreams that you've put on your calendar and turn them into reality. And so I just want to let you know that the secret to going big is to start small. And so this video is all about how to use baby steps to start gaining momentum towards your goals. Now, I know I have a lot of different people who check in with me. I have folks who are in network marketing companies, or people who are just starting out in their businesses, or people who are still working a full-time job. So I'm going to try and touch on all of those different scenarios in this video. But the key thing is you're taking that big, hairy, audacious goal, and then you're chunking it down into smaller and smaller steps until it's manageable, right? Because a goal that you aren't able to actually make movement towards isn't helpful, right? There's an expression that a baby step that everyone takes is better than a giant leap that no one takes. So with your big, hairy, audacious goal, you've set this like giant leap that you want to make in your life over a longer period of time, right? We talked about 90-day increments, quarterly goals. We also did some annual planning for those of you who are in the She Runs It community. But now what we need to do is to chunk it down into itty bitty incremental steps so that you can take action daily towards your goals. So I'm going to start by just giving you the example of a network marketing company. Those of you who know me know I am a Primerica representative. That is a network marketing company, and it's focused around financial management. So there are a whole bunch of insurance agents and financial advisors who are part of this network, okay? Now, when I was active in that company, in that business, I knew that in order to make my monthly goals, there was a certain amount of daily activity that I needed to achieve. So in that business, right, the goal is to sell insurance products, to sell financial products in order to generate revenue for the company and for yourself and for the client, of course, right, because it's financial. So what that means is you have to meet with a certain number of people to close sales, right? And so they had this phrase, this, I don't want to call it a mnemonic because there's no, well, I guess it's kind of a mnemonic, but we used to say 8-5-3-1, right? So you would set 8 appointments so that you would actually go on 5 confirmed appointments. You would do 3 full analyses for people, and then that would yield 1 sale. Okay. Now, this is important because the goal for any aspiring Primerica representative is to do 8-5-3-1 every week, which means, right, if you need to set 8 appointments every week, then that rolls back up into how many calls, how many contacts do you need to make in order to generate those 8 appointments on your calendar. So if you know that it takes you, 30 calls to get 10 confirmed 10 appointments on your books, then what you might want to do is have time at the front end of your week, like on a Monday, to say, I'm going to take time today to make 30 phone calls, right? And maybe 30 phone calls takes you an hour to do, we'll say, right? 2 minutes a call. They tend to be very quick conversations. Either someone's on the phone or they're not, right? And for the most part, if you get someone on the phone, you can turn that into an appointment. So let's just assume 30 calls, you get 10 people on the phone, you set 8 appointments, okay? So what that means is the baby step, your daily baby step there, is to get on the phone for an hour, right? And then on Monday, if you didn't get your 8 set, then on Tuesday, you need to get on the phone until you get the 8 set. But that's the first baby step. The first step you can take is to call people. Now, I'm going to take that even one step even further, right? If we're walking this backwards from our goal, the big, hairy goal, walking it backwards all the way to setting the calls, we could go even one step beyond that to what if you don't have anybody to call? And then your baby step needs to be going out there and prospecting, which means looking for leads and generating new contacts for you to reach out to. Okay, so that's the first example. Is in a network marketing business, how many people do you need to speak to on a daily basis in order to generate a certain number of appointments or invites to your business meeting, whatever it is in that company structure, so that you can get to the end goal, the big goal for your monthly commitment. And if you can do that consistently, then you should be able to hit your yearly commitment. Make sense? So I'm going to give you another example of this, right? So second example, let's take the example of someone who's side hustling, right? So let's say you're working in corporate still, you're running your business, maybe you have a catering business or a baking business on the side that you're doing like part-time sometimes, right? In Primerica, we used to call folks who only did it on the weekend or were kind of sporadic with business, part-time, sometime, anytime, right? So whenever you have free time, you're working on this business. But if you have a goal, say for the year, you want to just make an extra $10,000 in your side hustle, then you need to think about, okay, well, if I work that backwards, how many cupcake orders or how many catering events do I need to do to make $10,000? And you might say, okay, I need to do, I don't know, 25 events or 25 orders to make that $10,000, right? So if we work that back, okay, great. So 25 orders, how many can I do in a quarter? If we break that out real easy, that's about 8, almost 9 orders in a quarter. So that's 3 orders every month, which means every 10 days, you should be getting an order. Okay, just working it back all the way back, right, until we can get to our baby step. So if you need an order every 10 days, then maybe you need to be thinking about where these orders are coming from, right? Are they coming from your church-based community, from people at work, right? From all your existing friends and family? Are you advertising on social media to generate orders? Things like that. Now, of course, for catering events or for pastries, right, baked goods, it's an easy grab to think about what are the holidays or big special occasions each quarter that I can maximize to generate those sales. So what you might want to do for your baby step, right, is to start thinking about what events can I capitalize on in the month. So we're in January, starts thinking of what are 3 events that people would want to cater for in the month. So of course, we got MLK. So what MLK events can I reach out to? Or there's some President's Days in here this month, right? And then if we expand out beyond that quarter, of course, February, we have Valentine's Day, and then March, there's St. Patrick's Day. We got Black History Month, right? So there are all of these events. So if we look at that for the whole quarter and we know for this quarter we want 9 events on the calendar, then I know maybe my baby step for this Monday is to reach out to 5 African-American organizations about their Martin Luther King Day celebrations, right? Because those are coming up in the next couple of weeks, right? Or I could start asking them about their plans for Black History Month, if they have any events coming up, and send them information about my catering business or my cupcake business, or better yet, send them samples so they can taste and see the value that I can bring to them, right? So that might be my baby step, is reaching out to a certain number of people who will generate interest and sales, which will lead to my monthly, my quarterly, and then my annual goals, right? Baby step, right? So maybe today you're just going to research, right? What are some of the Black-owned organizations in your community so that you can get things going around your event planning or bakery business, okay? Second example. Now let's go to example 3. This is for people who are already in business, some of the micro businesses out there. And actually I was over the break talking to my sister, who is a business owner. She's a vocal coach. And we were talking about the difference between a small business and a micro business. And I think small business revenue starts off at like, I can't remember if she's at 400,000 or like 4 million a year. I think it was like 4 million. So most of us, right, are still, you know, a little bit away from hitting that revenue number for annual revenue. So we're going to be micro businesses, right? Like super small. It's just you and like your gang of contractors or your, 24 employees, right? So if you're in that case, in that bucket of business, where you've been operating for maybe 1, 2, 3, 5 years, but you're still very small, then you can think about your baby steps in terms of what you want growth to look like for the year. So again, walking it back from your big, hairy, audacious goal for 2019, what does that mean quarterly? What does that mean monthly? And then taking that into weekly, how can I start to target some of those things? And you should be able to get it all the way down to what can I do today to make progress for my goals? So of course, I would be remiss if I had a post and didn't talk to you about the Best Self Planner. But right now in Best Self, I'm starting a new one, right? This is my 11th planner with them. And so today I went ahead and I filled in my big, hairy, audacious goals. I did do 3 this time because it's the beginning of the year. You tend to get more ambitious. But I set 3 big, hairy, audacious goals for the next 90 days. I went through, I set my weekly goals, right? Which right now are to work on a landing page, some email copy. I have a meeting with the DOE. That's for my personal life for my son. And planning my date night and play dates for my kids. So there's social life stuff in there, right? So today, Monday on my calendar, first thing that I'm doing, I set my 2 targets today were my blog, right? Which, hello, getting the goods right now. And then the second one was to get my landing page over to my marketing consultant for review. So those are the 2 baby steps I'm taking today. A draft of my landing page and putting up a blog post, right? Super easy, right? Chunk it all the way down. What can you do today that's going to help you get towards your goals? Because it's the baby steps that really help you get towards the big, hairy things, okay? Also, sidebar, my husband didn't know what we were talking about over the break. Me and my sister, we were talking about BHAGs. And he said, oh, big BHAG, that's what, big, hairy ass goal? Ha, ha, ha. So if you're having trouble remembering the goals, it's a big, hairy ass goal, right? It's just enormous. And so hope that helps you guys, right? Set something small and achievable today that'll help you go big tomorrow and for the days to come. All right, that's it for now. Talk to you soon. Bye.